This is Smeagol and Gollum, and we're listening to the MoY Ploy.
You are among the blessed. You have been chosen by God to compete for righteous glory. 8 other champions will enter, but there can only be one MoY. And now, introducing your host, Jake, the gluten-free Carrots.
What's up, my homies, and welcome into the MoY Ploy. It's your boy Jake, the gluten-free Herricks, and I am joined today by Peter Cheater Pigu Hatsizzle O'Donnell. What's up, brother?
Woo! We are back, baby. It
Yes,
feels
sir.
amazing. We have waited a long time for this week. Oof. There's so
Yes.
many storylines developing, new people to welcome. I'm fascinated with what transpires this weekend. How will the new boys show up? Z Warrens, Brett, and my favorite, Eddie.
Oh, already a favorite. All right. Quick call out, Peter. You know, the football season is long, but the off season is somehow longer. So
Okay.
I am ready to go, baby. All right. We're going to be doing some power rankings today, and Pigu's put together some spicy takes for us that I haven't heard. You're going to get to hear my reactions live, so I am pumped and cannot wait. You got them ready?
I do, and this is not meant to offend anybody, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody takes these.
So it's meant to
personal.
offend everybody. Got it.
All right, here we go. All right, do we want to start from the bottom or the top? It might be more interesting if we. I don't know which is going to be more earth-shattering, the top or the bottom, but.
Yeah, let me see if
Any
I can
preference?
find. Here we go. I got
here
it.
we go.
I'm gonna put up the league here so everyone can see. They can hear me clicking furiously. All right, so
Oh.
here these are the projected finishes here.
All
As
right,
you can obviously not see by how tiny that script is.
Ooh, there you go, scrolling, and he's got it.
Team Eddie, and then Team Todd, Team Brett, Team Zach, Team Ray, Team Brent, Team Peter, and Team Jake. It has flip-flop Peter and Jake. We don't
It's
put
not
a
as
ton of
strong-
stock into these because I believe Peter was projected to finish 8th, and he won last year. So, but I think this is just an interesting quick take. Peter, will you go ahead and take us to your first
All right, we're gonna
projection?
start. We're gonna start from the bottom, and it's gonna, we're gonna start things off with some roar. I have a newcomer, Brett, as my weakest roster. I think he's projected to score the highest points this week. Projected to finish 3rd. I just have some issues. I guess I just have some players on his team that I want to fade hard, and I'm not
Take me through it.
feeling. I don't like the double stack of Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, a triple stack, and
Okay.
Elijah Mitchell.
Oof.
It's just like that's 3 players in your starting roster on one offense, not
Yeah.
diversified enough there. I don't like Zeke. I'm a fade Zeke. I know, what's fascinating? Zeke was like the 6th overall fantasy running back last year. He averaged like 15 points per game. And he had a bad leg. I still think the leg is bad, but anyway, we'll see. You've gone.
So you
yeah.
still hate Zeke. Now, here's what I think
He's
is
still going to
interesting.
get touches. He's going to get touches.
The team knew he had a torn PCL or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
They kept giving him the ball. Disrespect.
Yeah, so I feel like
I got no choice.
his floor is so high, and I feel like he's appropriately costed for
Yep.
what he did last year. If you could have
Again-
gotten him at that price last year, and like, how much is he really gonna fail this year? If you
We're
look
about to find
historically, there's a lot of running backs who had great seasons into their late 20s.
That's true. All right, here's some issues
And
though I have.
another thing for Zeke, I will say, losing receiving weapons often benefits the running backs.
He lost a lineman though. I think they've lost 2 linemen in the
Yes,
preseason, so
it's
that's
true.
tough.
But they've also lost Amari Cooper
Yeah.
and a couple other targets.
That's why I've got Jalen Tolbert on my team for week 1. I'm playing him.
All right.
Somebody has to catch the ball. All right, but so one other issue, he's got CeeDee Lamb too. Again, multiple investments in the same offense, not a diversified portfolio.
It does limit your upside. It does.
Cam Akers, I feel like it's going to be a split backfield. That's his RB3. Again, we don't know who's going to get the goal line touches. A lot of question marks there.
I feel like Elijah Mitchell is his actual RB3. And
about,
that Cam
Antonio
Akers,
Gibson?
I feel like Cam
Gibson
Akers
might
was a
be-
very expensive upside pick.
Gibson could go either way. It feels like he's one fumble away, and Brian Robinson. If Brian Robinson hadn't been shot in the leg, I mean Gibson
By
would've-
Antonio Gibson's friends.
by AG's friend. You know, does he have anything on the bench that I really feel great about coming in and making a big splash? No, not until DeAndre Hopkins comes back or Deshaun
Gallup.
Watson.
I like Gallup.
Dude,
I think Walker's got upside. I think he plays for a crap offense, but I mean they've got offensive weapons.
I'm Brett hating. All right, let's go number 7.
All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna stick with the brrr theme. Brent 10 10 10 10 10 10. Brent, I'm sorry.
For how you pronounced his name? Oh, okay.
You deserved, Brent. You deserved more love from me. We've been good buddies through this league, and you deserve more loyalty as a member of the Rat Pack. All right. So here's what I've got an issue with. Devin's the running backs. I'm worried about Leonard Fournette. I'm fascinated to see what happens. He could be in great shape. He came into camp weighing 270. It was 4 weeks ago. How fast? How explosive will he be? David Montgomery. A lot of uneasiness about what's going to happen with his role in the Chicago backfield. Devin Singletary. I actually like him. Maybe the best out of these 3. Just because of the role he played with the team during the playoffs. Wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy, yes.
And Adam Thielen, number 2.
Okay.
Devontae Smith, 3. My favorite wide receiver on his team is Hunter Renfrow as a sneaky PPR god. I don't know.
Okay.
I just have a
Let me tell you what I like about Brent's team.
All right, let's hear what you love. The QBs.
I love the
can win
QBs.
weeks.
In
They
a
can
six
win
point
weeks,
in a
baby.
6-point passing touchdown league, I think
We're looking
these
at 80
quarterbacks are potential. Yes, exactly. Actually, honestly, potential 100-point and 6-point passing touchdowns. Like they've got potential 100-point between the two of them, like 90-point. Like if they both went off for 45, that would shock no one. They play in the same division, right?
It's going to be.
They're going to be
shootouts in
going.
that league.
There's
That
potential
league
for
is-
2
yeah.
shootouts when these 2 teams play each other. There's potential for 2 shootouts where both Russell Wilson and Justin Herbert are trying to keep up with each other.
Wow.
And yeah, right. It's
Wow.
explosive when you think about it
Okay.
like that. It's interesting.
I do like it.
I
do like that.
I
Brent.
love that. I love that he's got a stack with what I believe is the true number 1 receiver in Denver. When Jerry Jeudy came back from injury, Cortland Cuckton became invisible. He sat in the corner and watched Jerry Jeudy get all of his targets. You like that?
Yeah, I do. I love it.
I should have called him
still-
Cuckland Sutton. I missed a chance
There's just so many players. It's hard. I feel like it's
Here's
flex.
what I
I've got
hate.
Melvin Gordon in the flex.
I hate Melvin Gordon in the flex. Put Rashad Penny in there, please.
Or Zach.
Get Marvin
Stewart.
Jones off your roster. Get Nyheim
And
Hines off your roster.
The Jizzler might get
The
sick.
Jizzler could go off your roster. Like
He won't.
Robert Woods can stay for now, I suppose.
Sure.
I hate Robert Woods. I think he's done, cooked, cut him loose. But speaking of, there was quite a bit of controversy around the pick that was Robert Woods that was supposed to be someone else. The commissioner is still working on releasing a statement as to what happened in that whole debacle.
Look, be on top of it, make your picks, but it's okay. If you tell the commissioner there's an error and you're gonna say you're gonna make a pick, like take a player, take that player. Don't take a random player that you said you weren't gonna take. And that's all I'll say. I don't know what happened. I haven't been paying attention because It feels like a waste of.
There's an ongoing investigation. The commissioner's going to release a statement. We'll get to the bottom of this.
It's so early in the season for this that it felt like a waste of mental space in my mind. It gave me a headache to even consider that there's bickering and subversion, undermining the commissioner's authority.
This is what the MoY Ploy is all about, though, Peter. This is what you signed up for when you signed up for the MoY Ploy.
We're not even in week 1.
What's your third team?
All right,
or rather, your sixth team.
Myself, I'm bringing up the rear as the 8th, projected to finish 8th by Watson.
I hate it when you do this shit.
I feel good about my running backs. I feel horrible about my quarterbacks in a 2 QB league. I'm going with the 4 QB strat: Shaker Shayfield, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, and I at least feel good about Joe Burrow.
Baker Mayfield. You have him on your team? Oh yeah, there he is down there.
We're about to find out what he's worth. He falls into an interesting statistical category of like players who have had success in their first 5 years.
Let me tell you what I love about your team and why you are wrong. I love Joey B. I love CMC. I love Dalvin Cook. I love DeAndre Swift. You've got 3 incredibly elite running backs.
3 week 1 RB1s. I have 3 of the top 7.
Yes, you do. I love the upside potential of Michael Pittman, AJ Brown, Mike Williams. I think Amon-Ra has got also good upside, as he could become the potential number 1 target. No.
I have regrets, but we'll see. He looked
Detroit's
amazing
at
the last year.
Correct, and Detroit's a bad team, so they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. And you know what? His hands, he's got great hands, actually. What I didn't understand, I was like, oh, Amon-Ra, he's just a slow scrub. No, he's slow as shit, but he's got incredible hands. And like him being slow did not keep him from getting opened at the end of last season. I like George Kittle, an explosive tight end. You know, injury history is the reason you got him as cheap as you did. But I think he had the highest scoring tight end week last year. So
yeah.
I hate that you're flexing Dallas Goedert. I don't understand why you have a second tight end.
I don't know yet. I haven't decided who's going in that role. I really like Dallas Goedert. He's a great target, red zone target.
I think
we'll see what happens. I may not go with him. I may go TP. Alan Lazard is injured right now.
I think that the Tolbert show is the Tolbert show is really interesting here. It's got high potential. High boom, high bust. I like the Nico Collins ad. I don't love Jarvis Landry. Love Garrett Wilson. I'm notorious for hating Jarvis Landry.
I don't like Jarvis Landry either, and I don't know why I grabbed him. It seems.
Let me tell you something, though, Peter.
You don't take floor picks in late rounds. He's gonna get cut by.
If you don't start Baker Mayfield week 1 against his former team over shitty Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence will finish as a bottom of the barrel quarterback in points per game. Mark my words, he will be under the top 20 in points per game this year.
That's why I got Justin Fields for just in case.
And Baker Mayfield.
Correct. And
Baker Mayfield's got, like, McCaffrey's healthy. I might
stack it. I was thinking about stacking it week 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stack the deck.
Yeah, McCaffrey's healthy. If you're going to stack, this is the time to do it.
Bread and butter. It's going to be live update. Number 5. The 3rd member of the Rat Pack, Brent Van Conyu.
Wait, you already did him.
O'Donnell, and now.
Oh, okay.
Ray, Rat, Mertz.
Oh, okay.
Drop it.
Oh, yes. Good call.
Race world, tragic race starts to take.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ray Ray always has the potential to outperform his preseason rank. I may be a Ray hater. I'm sorry, Ray.
You are a Raider.
I'm trying to find this team. I had it up here somewhere. So I liked. What did I love about his team? I had to find the dang team.
His quarterbacks?
All Barkley, no bite. He got his guy, didn't he? Didn't he get his guy Barkles?
Nope. Barkles went somewhere else.
His quarterbacks are his strength. Incredible. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I feel like he got a great stack. Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, double point stack.
Yep.
I'm worried about some of the flex plays, although Dameon Pierce off the bench will certainly be strong. AJ Dillon too. I feel like Ray could go. Ray could go 4. He could go 5. I gave him 5, just because of that seems to be kind of. I don't know. Didn't Ray? I think Ray finished 4th last year. He did great. He was in the playoffs. I don't know. I just don't have the heart. Okay, go ahead. What do you like about Ray?
Here's why you don't like Ray's team, and you can't put your finger on it. No, you can't put your finger on it. But here's why you don't like Ray's team. You know what? It's easier explained by this.
Ray's World, Track to Grade starts to take.
Because this is what Ray does to his fans.
I've been a Ray supporter.
Ray is like the. Oh God, this is brutal. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Ray is like the Cleveland Browns of this league. Every preseason, man, this is the year they can really compete. That's the if you want to make a hot take, make a splash on the ESPN talk radio, that's the team you pick. But you know deep down that they're gonna find a way to blow it.
The year Ray won MoY was so frustrating. Again, he let his fans down. He lost in the first round of the playoffs after finishing 1st in the league. Mm-hmm. Horrible, crushing.
Yep.
Ray has been a top 4 scorer every year. He's one of only 2 people to do it.
And he still misses the playoffs most years.
No, I think Ray's made the playoffs 2 out of the 3 years, and that's pretty good. But if you go to his history of the way past, then that drags down his if you consider pre-MoY Ploy years, then yeah, Ray's record will go down.
It's true. That's true. He did 2 of the last 3. It's true.
I'm worried about Deontay Johnson as a viable
but he had
option.
never made. I don't think he'd ever made the playoffs
Darnell
before
Mooney,
that.
Just saying, dude. Darnell Mooney. I'm just worried. Even though
here's what I like about Ray's team. Met,
hang on. Double Chicago stack. Careful.
Here's what I like about Ray's team. I like Josh Allen. I like Jalen Hurts. I like that he didn't try to get cute with a 101 pick. He got the guy who's going to get the most points in the league in a 2-quarterback league with 6-point passing touchdowns. Well done.
He did it.
Joe Mixon, solid. Don't know about James Conner at his draft price. I'm out on James Conner at his draft price. But he's on a high-powered offense. He's on a high-powered offense, so whatever. Hard to really be like, meh. Especially when James Conner was so good last year, but all that production came on touchdowns. I feel like there's regression coming. And yeah, everyone's favorite word to sound smart when they're talking about fantasy football. Travis Etienne is a player I like with a ton of upside. Jacksonville is devoid of playmakers, and Etienne might be a playmaker. And if he is, he's going to get the ball a lot, both running and passing. Diggs stacks with Allen. Diggs good at football. Boom, that's analysis. Deontay Johnson, good at football, PPR. I don't hate Deontay Johnson in this format, where and also Deontay Johnson, he shut me up last year. He was consistent. He didn't have a ton of earth-shattering games, but he had games where he
gave you points every week.
Yes. He was good last year. He was very solid.
6 for 100, 16 points. Here you go.
I'm gonna fire through these last couple. I love Darnell Mooney. I think Darnell Mooney finishes as a top 15 wide receiver. I like Allen Robinson a lot. I think Allen Robinson comes in, takes the Robert Woods role, except that he's a million times better than Robert Woods ever was. Yeah, he had a shitty previous year, but Allen Robinson broke out early in his career. Robert Woods didn't break out till his 6th season in the NFL when he finally crossed 1,000 yards receiving. There's no such thing as talent like just taking 6 years to have a breakout in the NFL. Robert Woods was in a good situation, like his production came from his situation, not from his talent.
Yep.
Said it. I said it.
All right.
Cole Kmet, Rashad Bateman, again, great situation, young player. Kadarius Toney, again, love the starting lineup. What I hate is what happened if one thing happens to any of these receivers. Who do you feel good about throwing in?
I'm worried.
Who do you feel has like a lot of upside here? MVS? No, I feel like he's been in the league 3 or 4 years, something like that. We know what he is. He's a guy who's going to pop off occasionally. You won't know when to start him, and he's got he's got cinder blocks for hands. Robbie Anderson sucked massive dick last year. Yeah, there's not a lot of other receiving options in Carolina, and Baker came to town, so I feel like Robbie Anderson could be a post-type sleeper. But Rondale Moore, I don't know. I'm not high on him. I don't think Cliff King's very smart enough to know how to use a player like Rondale. So, all right, that's enough analysis.
All right, here we go. Number 4, Todd Harris. Now, Todd is an interesting candidate to finish 4th in the league. He's been a bottom 4 scorer 3 seasons in a row. One of 3 players to do that. 2 are no longer in the league. I love the upside that Tua brings. I love Derrick Henry as an incredible. I feel like Derrick Henry is going to be a boss. Now he is an injury risk, just like C-Mac is for me, but I feel like they're going to hand him the ball and he's going to just batter people continuously. They're just going to run it downhill with him. That offense will go as they go. Tom Brady, again, is going to be passing at historic rates just like last year. Cooper Kupp, incredible. Going to get fed the rock. Great option. I'm worried about CEH, but theoretically, it kind of feels like CEH is going to get the start. He's going to get a chance to prove himself, and if he blunders, then I'm guessing Pacheco.
Let me ask you a question.
Has he broken out yet?
No. Let me ask you a question.
All right.
Would you rather start Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Cordell Patterson?
Cordero Patterson.
Really?
Yeah, and he's
the
got
week
Cordell
1
Patterson
against New Orleans and CEH versus Arizona.
I don't know. Cordero is. I don't know.
He was red hot last year. I think he finished as RB6.
Yeah,
or maybe 7 or something like that.
You know who I love is Amari Cooper. I told you I love Amari Cooper as like a sneaky guy who's going to get 1,100 yards and 6 touchdowns. What do you want to pick 30?
Yeah.
Wide receiver 30.
Let me give my quick top-down analysis of my loves and my hates on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
I love the veteran presence that Todd's put together here. There are no unknowns on this roster. Everyone's proven fantasy production except maybe Tua. What I hate goes hand in hand with that. Who is going to be...
There are 3 week winners on his roster.
Where's the upside? Where's the upside? Where's the hidden upside?
Brady
is DJ Chark...
touchdowns.
Hang on. Let me talk for a sec. Is DJ Chark really going to be the guy that comes out of nowhere in the Detroit wide receiving core to just dominate? Maybe. Probably not. Justin Watson sure as hell isn't going to do it. Raheem Mostert, definitely not going to do it. This is a wasted roster spot. This is probably a wasted roster spot. I like DJ Chark. I'd keep him on my roster, but he's a bench guy. Hunter Henry's absolutely a wasted roster spot. Why are you rostering 3 tight ends, first off, when you should be rostering 1 or maybe 2?
Beast.
James Robinson, torn Achilles. I feel like that's a wasted roster spot. I don't believe the hype on any Achilles injury. His recovery looks great. Don't care. You tore your Achilles. Your career as a running back is probably over. James Robinson will probably be completely out of the NFL in 2 years. I just don't see a lot of hidden upside of guys who are I think Terry McLaurin could really outperform his draft value now that he's got finally if you take Taylor Heineke, who like is an XFL player realistically, and then you replace him with Carson Wentz, Terry McLaurin could have a massive upgrade. He could go for 1,400 this year. Wouldn't shock me. So I think T-Mac, but beyond that, I like Tua's. I like Terry's upside. I just don't see a ton of upside beyond that. Maybe Michael Thomas. Let's keep moving.
All right, number 3, the last member of the Rat Pack, Jake the Snake Harris.
I'm shocked you like my roster that much.
I do like your roster that much. I love Trey Lance this year. I love Jameis Winston. Incredible. If Michael Thomas is healthy, then I'll just feel like an idiot for not just taking a chance on him. But Jameis Winston could have insane wide receiver core down in New Orleans with Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, and Michael Thomas if they're healthy. Plus Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like New Orleans has a great offense, and
yeah,
we'll see what they can do. They lost their offensive head coach, but we'll see. I love
Exactly.
Javonte Williams. The upside is there.
It is.
Just if he gets 60% of the carries, he'll be
He'll be
incredible. If an injury happens, if he becomes the lone back, it's RB1.
If it goes to 70-30, I think Javonte finishes as a top 5 running back and goes in the first round next year and for the next 3 or 4 years.
Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 potential. Like, what do you want? They're going to get peppered with targets. They're going to be unbelievable. Jalen Waddle's going to get a lot of targets. I think they're going to be throwing the rock down in Miami. Marquise Brown, hello, targets. Get them. Again, this is just insane. Kyle Pitts, targets, please. Elijah Moore, number 1, targets. Julio Jones, I feel I'm going to start him week 1 in my other league too. So, like, what's not to like about the
I feel
wide
like this
receivers
projection
that
is way low.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't trust Watson, the supercomputer, the smartest computer in the room. And the Colts D is going to be a great matchup and has another week 2 great matchup, I think, against the Seahawks or something. So, let's go. This says 2-0 written all over it. I feel good about. Look, this is the runner-up last year. There's only one time you finished in the losers bracket. It was a fluke season, marred by injuries. I believe at 3.
Let me tell you what I love about my roster. I love everything about my roster. I love it top to bottom, to be honest. I've been looking at trades, but the thing is, I don't want to drop anyone. I want every single person that's on my team. I want them very badly. I feel like I've got a ton of upside with Trey Lance, Jameis Winston, Javonte. I feel like Aaron Jones has a little bit of upside potential. I think Darrell Henderson has got a good amount of upside there if Cam Akers and his torn Achilles sucks ass. Love my wide receiver core. I think Jalen Waddle has a chance to be the number 1 target in his offense, as well as Marquise Brown. Even after Hopkins comes back, I think Brown has a chance to be the number 1 target in Arizona. Kyle Pitts is absolutely the alpha in Atlanta, and a team that's going to be behind, going to be throwing. Elijah Moore. Yeah, and I think my bench is just loaded with incredibly high upside. Pacheco could definitely win the starting job away from Clyde Edwards-Helaire, especially as I believe this is Clyde Edwards-Helaire 4th year coming up, or is this his 3rd?
3rd.
3rd, okay. So they might just force Clyde to do the thing because they've got to start him for one more year. They don't want him to be
injury history.
It's true, but they probably don't want him to be disgruntled because they have to stick. They're forced to keep him for one more year. But yeah, I love my team. Let's keep moving.
All right, number 2. 2 newcomers left. I really like their rosters. Number 2, Eddie Disler.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome.
All right, talk to me about Eddie.
All right, I'm trying to find that team. I just had it up here on my screen. Where are you? Team Eddie?
Team Disler.
This is the team that has Saquon Barkley. I love all Barkley, no bite. I'm worried about Najee Harris, but theoretically he's going to be a monster again unless he injures his foot, which he said he had a Liz Frank injury, which is that's a bad injury. You don't want that. We'll see what happens there.
Here's how I feel.
JT's never been injured, never missed a practice.
Let me weigh in real quick. on the Najee injury. If Najee's Lisfranc injury was anything to worry about, he would not have played in the preseason, and he wouldn't be hurdling people in a meaningless preseason game. I'm not concerned about Najee. He doesn't even have a questionable designation. I'm not worried about Najee.
I love the upside of T. Higgins, DK Metcalf. Chris Godwin could end up being a steal if he's back week 1.
Yeah.
Gonna be. Christian Kirk is one of the only people. He's one of the. He got paid. He's always gonna get some balls thrown his way down in Jacksonville.
Yep.
Miles Sanders is back. We'll see, but there's some other options for him. I actually really like Devontae Parker as a good flex option, and I like T.J. Hawkinson as a tight end option. So I just feel like there's some power here. Great upside at quarterbacks. A lot of he probably has too many quarterbacks on the roster, but
entirely too many.
This
Let me
is
tell you what I
actually-
love and hate about Eddie's roster, and I would not have him number 2. I love his quarterbacks. In 6-point passing touchdown, he has 3 statues: Prescott, Rodgers, Stafford. Statues don't matter because 6 points to 50% increase from 4 points. Big difference in scoring there. JT, Najee, Saquon, elite potential there in the running backs. He might just have running backs 1, 2, 3. It's in the range of outcomes.
It is.
T. Higgins, his receivers to me, none of them have top 8 upside in my opinion. I just think that's impossible with all of their situations. But he doesn't need top 8 upside with the running back core.
He's weekly production.
Yep. I don't believe in Miles Sanders. I like Kirk's situation. Not that I would want him long term, but this year I think Kirk is a good option. I hate his bench. His bench to me makes me want to puke, not just in my mouth, but I would want the puke to explode out of my mouth onto his keyboard, and hopefully the short circuiting from my vomit on his keyboard would make him drop Noah Fant, make him drop Zach Wilson, and make him pick up some actual receivers. Because if anything happens to his 5 receivers, and the more receivers you have to start, the more likely one of them is to get injured, because, law of numbers, if you have 2 receivers versus 5, odds are you're going to lose one of them at some point. If one of those dudes pulls a hammy, who is he putting in there? Devontae Parker? And then what happens on a bye week? He doesn't have another receiver. He's going to be trotting out Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, timeshare in a Patriots offense. Like, that's kind of ugly. I love these 2 players on the team. I don't know how I feel about having both of them on the same team, but I love them. But, Tannehill doesn't need to be on your roster. Fant doesn't need to be on your roster. I think the Titans' offense is going to be a shit show until Treylon Burks really gets going. Carson Wentz, I don't know how I feel about Wentz either. I think Wentz is going to be usable, but in an 8-team league, you don't need 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks on your bench. You need wide receiver depth when you have to start up to 6 of them. And I don't want Miles Sanders in my flex spot. Vehemently against that. Miles Sanders has done nothing but disappoint his fantasy managers. So count me out on Sanders.
Listen,
All right.
I don't want Watson supports my decision, so it's helpful here. Watson says that he will finish first.
Yes.
All right, Z Warren is number 1. I love Z Warner's roster. It's got Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, incredible QB1, QB2 threats for total points. Austin Eckler, a god, a fantasy god. Nick Chubb, gonna get the rock, gonna get a chance to run. Deshaun Watson is out. They're gonna be a run-first team. He's gonna get the ball. Breece Hall, we'll see what happens. I feel like Breece Hall is gonna get. I know they're talking about splitting it with Michael Carter, but we'll see. They put some capital into Breece Hall. He's gonna get a chance to play, and he's gonna get touches.
Oh, yeah.
Devontae Adams, love him as a sneaky option for top 5 upside. DJ Moore, maybe with Baker the best quarterback he's ever played with, Baker Mayfield. What's going to happen? Cortland Sutton, best quarterback he's ever played with, Russell Wilson. Let's see what happens. I love Dalton Schultz as a sneaky tight end value. There's
You just
a
kind
lot.
of scooted over. You had another chance to say best quarterback he's ever played with. You skipped one.
Juju Smith-Schuster?
There it is.
Question mark?
Question mark?
Yeah, Patty
All right.
Mahomes. All right,
Let me
what do
tell you
like?
what I like and hate about this roster. I love Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. High passing touchdown upside, high rushing touchdown upside. These two could put up 120. Like the other pair of quarterbacks that I love could put up 100. Those two could put up 120 in this league. I don't love his running backs. I think he's got extremely limited upside with Nick Chubb. I do like the late season upside of Breece Hall. Think Jonathan Taylor rookie year where he exploded in the fantasy playoffs. I don't think Josh Jacobs has a ton of upside. I think he was a deal in the draft because I do think the Raiders offense got better. And anytime an offense gets better, generally the running backs production improves, which is why I hate the narrative of Nick Chubb. People are trying to sell you a false bill of goods here with Nick Chubb. They're trying to tell you, oh, well, they have no choice but to run the ball. When has that ever benefited a running back to have a worse quarterback?
Yeah,
like, never in the history. It's only when the system changes, when a Tom Brady comes to town and says, yo, dog, we're going to pass it over 600 times this year. We ain't doing that running game shit. That's when a running back becomes irrelevant. But if it's just a better quarterback being in the same system, the running back never benefits from worse quarterback play. So I am OUT out on Nick Chubb PPR. His receiving core, Devontae Adams was a steal of the draft. Went way too late. Well done. DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Juju. I am kind of low on all three of these guys. Juju's burned me so many times. I think like 2 or 3 years in a row. Sutton, I think Cuckland Sutton is going to be watching Jerry Julie get all of his targets from the corner. Sits there and watches in the corner like the Cuckland he is. I think DJ Moore is interesting. I'm afraid of DJ Moore, though. In that, when I watch him...
low touchdowns?
When I watch DJ Moore play, he doesn't have... And there's no X factor to his game. There's no explosion of... Like, when DJ Moore catches the ball, he turns and just runs in a straight line into the open field.
Watch the Jamar Chase plays against the Chiefs from last year. He catches the ball and runs by Chiefs play. Like, Jamar Chase, after the catch, God tier.
Yeah.
DJ Moore doesn't have the same flair as somebody like
No,
Chase.
he doesn't. He doesn't ever make someone miss. He just runs to open field, and he's got decent contact balance. But beyond that, I don't think DJ Moore will ever be a superstar in the NFL. He's a star, but never a superstar. Olave, love Olave. I love Sky Moore. I love some of the bench pieces here, except Kenny Galladay. What the hell is he doing there? And Russell Gage. I just think there's zero upside with Gage and Galladay. There's better pieces on the waiver wire. Go get them. All right. Boys, this went way too long. This went way too long as per usual. I hope you enjoyed listening. Feel free to just fast forward to your team, and we will holla at you guys later. I'll have to put the timestamps in the comments or something.
Peace.
Peace.